Hello, thank you for listening to A Glimpse of the Kingdom. I'm David Pendergrass. I've done several podcasts through the last few years on anxiety and negative emotions, and I'm working currently on a new study I'm going to be doing on anxiety. I thought I would just say just a few quick words because I think this might help you, or if you struggle with anxiety, I'll say just a few things about that, and then I'm going to do a study on anxiety itself, which I'll also post on the podcast, so I won't repeat all that here. But I guess right now I want to make sure you understand that anxiety at its very core is related to fear and danger at its very core. So if you think about what anxiety is, every time you feel anxious about something, every time you feel a little scared, nervous, maybe you're sweaty, your heart races, and so forth, it's related to danger because our brain is designed to look for danger. Our brain is designed to survive automatically. I have some cats and dogs, and every single time there's a noise, my cats can be asleep and their heads pop up, or my dog, he can go from a deep sleep to jumping in mid-air off the couch barking because he heard something at the front door. Like his radar of danger is just always on. Well, our brain does the same thing. Our brain is always on looking for danger. It's smelling for danger. It's tasting for danger. It's listening for danger. It's physically sensing things, touch for danger. It's always there in the background, subconsciously doing what it does to make sure our heart beats and the brain keeps working and so forth. It's always doing what it's supposed to do, but that is a danger radar. It's always on, and it's always activated to some degree. All the time it's activated automatically. And it's a fundamental watershed moment. It was a fundamental watershed moment in my own life years ago when it really hit me of that distinction between what you might say our animalistic part of us is doing, our brain is doing, versus what our mind is doing. I'm a mind-body dualist. I believe that we do have a soul with a body. I think our soul is rational, has a mind. So I do not think that our brain is the mind. I think they're related. I think the mind uses the brain, but I do not think the brain is the mind. I find that very unpersuasive. And there's a lot of reason for that. But one is this one, which is I am not thinking about breathing. In fact, when I think about breathing and try to control my breathing, I mess it up. I'm not thinking about my heart beating. I have to focus real hard, even put my hand there and go, okay, now listen, very careful my heartbeat. It's just doing it. It's automatic. My brain is controlling that, but my mind is not controlling that. My brain is. I have an autopilot. We all do. And then when the autopilot stops, of course, then our soul leaves the body until so forth. But it's automatic. What I'm saying is what's such a watershed moment is those are major distinctions, that my brain is always on alert, like my animals, like the cats and dogs. It's always looking out for danger. And every single time one of my senses, smelling, hearing, seeing, feeling, tasting, whenever something seems safe and good, it releases feel-good chemicals. We call them feel-good chemicals. Endorphins and dopamine and so forth. They're like, it feels good. Okay, that's safe. But when something's not safe, it's dangerous, releases feel-bad chemicals. Well, the feel-bad chemicals are what we call anxiety. So anxiety by default is when our danger radar has gone off. And this is why I want to say a lot more about this later on, but my main point right now is if you could start seeing your anxiety as a radar, as a danger radar that's going off, anxiety is not danger itself. It's the radar going off. Your radar might be broken. Think of it like a thermostat that gives the temperature. The thermostat might be broken. The temperature might not work at all. 76 degrees, but it's freezing in here. Fine, but it is what the temperature it says. But the thermostat itself is not the temperature, right? It's telling you what the temperature is. Anxiety is like that. Those feelings of anxiety will not kill you. Anxious feelings are not dangerous. They are feel-bad chemicals rushing through your body to let you know, ding, 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 pay attention, pay attention. That's all it is. Pay attention. Look here, look here. It's like if a little child could say, are we in danger? Are we in danger? Are we in danger? Just like my cats and dogs do. They hear a noise. Is that dangerous? And as soon as I calm them down, no, baby, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And I give them pet and whatever, they close their eyes again. Well, it is just like that with us on the inside. The problem is, and this is another second major watershed, big breakthrough for me years ago when I was doing my own therapy work, is that when you realize that's what's going on, the second thing here is very true, which is this. When you become afraid of the feelings of anxiety, that's when you're stuck. That's where phobias come from. That's where panic and anxiety disorders come from. You don't get scared of the event or the object. You're scared of the feelings associated with that event or object. It's just the way it is. It's just, I can see a spider and not get creeped out at all. Someone with arachnophobia sees it and freaks out, screaming, hollering, let's kill it or run away. I might see a mouse going across the floor and I'm not scared at all. Someone else sees it. The same object is seen, but because you have anxious feelings associated with that, and you have anxious feelings based on the beliefs you have, and that's another third thing in a second, that's what causes these feelings. But the anxiety itself is not the danger. It's just a warning signal. And that's why it's so important for us not to get scared of feelings. You don't want to get scared of anxiety. But most people are afraid of anxiety. I do a lot of counseling with people, and most people are terrified of feeling that way. I want to feel calm. What's your goal? I want to feel calm. I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel happy. I want to feel joyful. And I always go, well, great. I mean, me too. Do you mean you want to feel that way all the time? And they go, well, yeah. I go, okay, well, then you've already failed. I mean, you're sabotaging. There's no way you're going to feel happy and joyful and peaceful all the time. Not even most of the time. You cannot do that. You cannot achieve that. You cannot do it because the brain is on. You are alive and your brain is always a radar. It will always be looking for danger. And the danger sign of the what is that, is going to be the feeling of anxiety, the chemicals that are produced. And when people do avoid anxiety at all cost, and they know they cannot turn their anxious brain off to a degree, no, they can't, then what they do is try to numb that radar. They try to get the radar to be less sensitive. It's still a radar, it's still on, but they try to make it not so sensitive. And they do that by getting high, by doing drugs, by drinking alcohol, by having sex, by getting tattoos, by cutting themselves. They do things to produce a lot of endorphins, particularly if it's a long period of time. Again, the radar is still there. People can still get anxious and terrified when they're really high, but it really makes the radar less sensitive. But the key is, again, you're not turning off the radar because you are still alive. Your brain still works. The key is learning how to fully welcome anxiety and stop fighting it. To see anxiety as a friend, as a radar that's trying to help you. Your brain just wants to stay alive. So welcome the radar. The key is not being afraid of it. The key is not being afraid of it. And the third major thing I'm saying, and that is developing proper beliefs so that your radar learns that is not anything to be afraid of. And this is where beliefs are so very important. If you believe that rat's going to jump in your face and bite your nose, well, you're going to be terrified. Well, if you don't believe that, then you're not going to be terrified. I mean, it's just the way it works. If you believe a person has a gun, they're about to shoot you, you're going to be terrified. If you don't believe the person has a gun, it's the same person, it's the same object, the exact same event in the same circumstances. This is about what you believe about it. And what most people who struggle with anxiety believe is that anxiety will hurt them. Anxiety is dangerous itself. Anxiety is dangerous. Anxiety will hurt me. Anxiety will cause me to go crazy. Anxiety will harm me. For some of you right now, just hearing the word anxiety makes you anxious, and you're starting to get more anxious because no, I can't go there, I can't feel anxious. But that's exactly what you should not do. Anxiety will not hurt you. See, those beliefs are false. Everything I just said is false. Anxiety will not kill you. That's a false belief. Anxiety will not make you more anxious. Anxiety will not cause you harm. Anxiety won't make you go crazy. And none of those things. Anxiety won't make you, quote, lose control. Anxiety is just a radar going off and ask the question, am I in danger? So the response is, the proper belief is, oh no, I'm not in danger. Thank you for letting me know, but I'm not in danger. I'm not in danger. That person who just yelled at you, I'm not in danger. If I really get in danger, I'll leave the situation. That person who just cussed at you, I'm not in danger. The person who just cut you off in traffic, I'm not in danger. The person who made that face, I'm not in danger. The person who said that thing that's going to hurt my feelings, no, I'm not in danger. Your brain goes, oh, okay. But if you avoid it, and if you avoid it and avoid it and avoid it and go, you teach the brain to believe I really am in danger. And so now the radar is going to be really fine-tuned for every single time he the brain hears or sees or whatever that thing is, because you've taught them to be scared. You've taught them it's danger. Well, those are my three major things I'm saying now the one is anxiety is related to danger and fear. Two is almost everybody is afraid of anxiety, and you have no reason to be afraid of anxiety. You don't want to try to avoid it. You don't want to try to get away from it. You don't ever want to drug it up and diminish the sensor. Let the radar go. That's very good. You want that. And the third thing is, of course, you want to make sure you have true beliefs. True beliefs, like I'm not in danger. That's all this is. It's my radar going off, but I'm okay. So with deep breaths and other mechanisms, which I'll talk about later on, and I've talked about in other podcasts, you can help your brain calm down. Deep breaths, saying I'm safe, I'm not in danger, it's okay to be happy, I'm not in danger, I'm completely safe. Thank you for trying to keep me safe, radar, but that's all it is. Everything's okay. That's all it is. Now that takes practice, but these are fundamental life-saving, not really, but metaphorically, life-saving tips that will help you if you struggle with anxiety, and I hope you will put them into practice. If you have more questions or comments about that, let me know on Twitter, email, or my Facebook account. God bless you. See you next time. Well, the conversation isn't finished. You can always reach out to me on social media. Are you on Facebook? I am too. At Glimpse of the Kingdom. Glimpse of the Kingdom on Facebook. Be sure to like it and you can see updates there. Also, if you're on Twitter, check me out at Dr. D. Pendergrass, at Dr. D. Pendergrass, or at Glimpse the King, at Glimpse the King. And I try my best to respond to comments and questions on there as quickly as I can. If you want more, there are many more resources on the podcast and my blog. Go to my website, davidpendergrass.com, davidpendergrass.com, and you can see a full list of the podcast, and my blog is available for free. Are you active in a church right now? I'd be happy to come out to your church and do all kinds of classes and workshops there. Check out davidpendergrass.com, davidpendergrass.com for more information. And may God in His great grace give you even just a glimpse of His kingdom this week. See you next time.